Hey divas, Ingridana here, quick video. I've been up early, teaching, sharing, cultivating, conjuring, and ensuring that people get their stuff on the road so that they can start selling and serving and rising and sharing their potent magic. And I wanted to invite you, if you haven't yet signed up, to my free 7-figure diva training. Hey everyone, coming up in a few days time. So if you haven't yet gone to 7figurelive.com to register, do it now, do not miss it. It is going to be electrifying. I am on fire. I am so tired, hey Catherine, and done with the suffering and the servitude and the lack of boundaries and the hiding that I see women doing online. So if you want to know, hey Randina, exactly what I've done and what my clients are doing to ramp up their revenue, own their holy diva power, and start to make, hey baby, start to make some money, honey, with ethics and grace and power and authority and authenticity, you do not want to miss this training. And I just want to talk to you quickly today about some of the myths online that I really want to bust. I can't even talk, sorry, I was in bed yesterday, a little bit unwell as I've been up leveling into something. One of the things has been really around this deep level of what I'm here to provide and what I don't provide. Hey Kathy, hey Tammy. So if you're ever considering working with me, I'm going to be laser lucid clear about what it is I do and what it is I do not do. And this is something that you really want to cultivate. Hey Kaylee, yourself, you want to be really very clear and mindful around what you provide, what your service is, what your boundaries are, and what you don't do, right? So what I do, and for those of you, some of you know me, right? I'm an activator. What does that mean? I get people lit up, hey gorgeous Kaylee, turned on, tuned on. I bust myths like bam, boom, like let's let the story go. The suffering, the shame around making money, the what I call this wobble effect where people's brains isn't even communicating properly. Like the right and the left brain doesn't really communicate. I was speaking to a diva this morning. I was doing a 5:30 a.m. strategy call for my diva mind, going through funnels and positioning and messaging and editing. And I was speaking to a divine woman, very talented, very gifted. And let me just tell you, it doesn't matter how beautiful you are, how talented you are. You could be the best strategist, the best healer, the best mystic, the best priestess on the planet. If you don't know how to really deeply connect with your audience, if you don't have your positioning on the money, if you don't know how to communicate with heart, and you're there hiding in this sense of suffering, wondering why your business isn't rocking, you need to learn this skill around growing a business, right? Because the truth is there is 2.1 billion, forgot to put the billion in, active users on Facebook every single month. If you're not making money online, the strategy's off. And no amount of talent in terms of your service and your ability to heal and all that kind of stuff, hey gorgeous ones, is enough. You need to marry that talent and that power and that presence with learning how to build a sustainable, streamlined, nourishing business. So that means that you will then have the ability to make more money quickly. People come into my program, some of them start making money like in the first 2 to 3 days. I had a woman in my digital program make 20 grand in the first 2 months. She did upgrade and get one private session with one of my coaches. I gave her a little bit of support as well. And now she's in my diva mind. She invested in that and then basically doubled her money within 24 hours. This is not a get rich quick scheme, it's strategy. So because I've mastered this craft quite well, we have templates and swipe files, and we basically will say to a new client, a new student, do this, put the tagline in here, basically use this entire process, fill it in, get your messaging on point, and then let's go and let's start selling. I was just actually speaking to a finance company to help my students get finance in America, and I was telling them a little bit about what I do. Too many women go into this sort of emotional fight-flight kind of chaos around growing a business. And I've been saying this to my students as well. You can't grow a business with that, oh my God, am I gonna do it? What are people gonna think of me? All that kind of stuff. You've got to not give a gazoo about what people think about you anymore. And you've got to come bring your body from out here into your body, like bring your sort of spirit back grounded in, and then you should be, only sort of question you really need to be asking yourself every day is, what do I need to do to create consistent sales and really reach my audience? Take a deep breath and just start to learn to plan it out. And if you don't have the right support right now and you're not making consistent cash flow and people are not buying from you, then get the support and you should come to my training, right? Check me out, come and learn some stuff for free because I'm going to give you lots of content, and come and check it out for yourself. Hey, Shelley, you going to come to my training? So I'm inviting you all to get grounded, and I was just telling a story. Sorry, I'm still a bit wobbly today myself from, I've got a bit of a bug off to bioresonance today, but I was speaking with a student who's got an amazing High Priestess school. Thank you, Rendina. Rendina's saying yes to it. She's amazing. Rendina's done incredibly well. She's, I think, very close to being $1 million diva, and she is an amazing healer and has an amazing school. So very talented, follow her. So, what was I going to say? So this client of mine has this amazing Priestess creative arts training school, and we're like really building it out right now. And I was speaking to her, and you know, she's very creative. It's part of her gift. Creativity is wonderful, and I'm a creative as well. But in order to actually really do well online, you've got to bring in that left and right brain. That's why you need to get grounded and strategic. And are you going to school? Bye, darling. Do you want to come and say? Already done that since working with you. Yes, $1 million, baby. Serving deeply. Oh, what are you eating? Lollies. My daughter Ari is just showing me her lollies. You going to come and give me a cuddle? Bye, darling.
I'll give you a hug in the afternoon.
Give me a hug in the afternoon. Okay, gorgeous. Have a good day. So I just said to her, like, we were doing a coaching session today with a group of with my students, and so I gave her an answer. I said, this is what you need to do. You need to shift it from all these different levels. It's confusing, and you need to just create a 1-year immersion strategy. And we need to, she is cute, she's a blessing. And we need to create like a 15K offer. We're not going to do like level 1, 5K, level 2, 5K. And then there's an immersion and an initiative. It's too confusing for the customer. So what she was trying to do was kind of give people things piecemeal and give people what they want, and rather than like, this is the curriculum. Sometimes people don't even know what they need. So it's up to you, the service provider, hey, Gorgeous Holly, to create the system, the strategy, taking people from, you know, where they are now to where they want to go. And you don't allow your audience to dictate what the process should be. You've got to create the process, right? That's your role. So we're now doing a 15K 1-year immersion. So they're doing the business training, they're doing the creative kind of healing, alchemy part. They're going to be able to become practitioners, and there's an immersion that they must do before they even start level 1. And that's all being kind of congregated under one core program, right? So 15,000 then, when you're setting up your funnels, for example, your lead magnets, your webinar funnels, the whole shebang, you get all of that really clear. And the messaging on point. Don't build a funnel, please, or do any ads, hey Deborah, or anything without understanding really how to connect with your audience. And that's what we teach, because otherwise it's just like putting money in the toilet. You're giving all your money to Zuckerberg and it's not converting. There's a streamlined process that we teach that allows me and my students, I'll speak to myself, like I'll book 30 sales calls in a week, right? It's not a fluke, it's a strategy, which we teach you, right? We say, this is how you do it. This is what you got to do. So say she starts selling, you know, just 10 sales, just 10 sales a month is $150,000 a month. So this is all possible. It's a mindset shift. It's a strategic shift. You've got to learn how to market, sell, get your branding, your positioning, your strategy on point, and it's available to everybody, right? And then you go from this sense of, oh my God, will anyone pay me that amount of money? And am I worth it? To dissolving all of that and being like, yes, it is done. This is what I am creating. I am $1 million diva, serving deeply and receiving deeply so that I can have a nourishing, divine, and holy, sacred life. Yes, 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 yes. Can I get an amen, diva, on that? So it is available to everybody. Hey, Lynette, but you do have to do the work, and chances are you're going to need support. That's all I wanted to share today. And the myth that I wanted to share is that it takes a long time to make money. It doesn't have to take a long time. That's conditioning. If you have the belief that it's going to take so long and it's going to be such a grind, and that vibration, thank you, Holly, for the amen. That vibration is going to actually keep you in that reality. If you want a quantum leap into a new reality, you need to have a whole new belief system around what is possible. So yes, there's work involved, right? Yes, you need a strategy. Yes, there's going to be up leveling. Yes, thanks for the amens, everyone. Yes, there's going to be emotional shedding as you release all that karmic emotional pain and trauma and the past lifetimes and this lifetime and the parental conditioning. Your ex-boyfriend, your ex-husband stuff might come into play. There's a shedding that happens as you release and resurrect into a whole new vibration of you, right? And then everything, yes, quantum leaking into everything. Celie says, anything is possible, absolutely. So today I just want to leave you with this. I want you to start chanting, I am now allowing myself to speak up and make millions of dollars with love and grace as I serve deeply, own my calling, and show the world who I truly, truly am. I am a rich, divine, holy woman. I am a rich, divine, holy woman. Just keep saying that. That's what I used to say when I was broke. I'm a rich, divine, holy woman. I'm a rich, divine, holy woman. And even as I say that, I'm a rich, divine, holy woman, remember, riches, the external riches that you seek will not come to you. And I was speaking to my divine, holy, one of my students. She's amazing, an amazing hypnotherapist. Riches will not come to you unless you see the riches that you already have within. God gave you, the divine gave you, Creator gave you so much potential, so much power, so much beauty, so much ability, right? But if you continue to not see that and own that, you are literally saying to the universe, I'm not enough, I'm not ready, I don't have what it takes. And you poison the well, and vibrationally, you're not going to draw in. So you must start with the belief and the presence and return to your sacred divinity. That's what diva means if you don't know. It means to see your divinity, to own your divinity. We live in a society that crucifies women, right? Not putting down men. I'm not blaming society, but we live in a society, and women crucifying each other. Women also crucifying, competing with each other. If she has it, I can't have it. Once again, keeps us fighting each other instead of really deeply working in sisterhood together. There are billions of dollars, billions, 2.1 billion people. If each of us had a $100 million business, there would be more hundreds of millions and more hundreds of millions and more hundreds of millions. So there's no competition here whatsoever. The presence that you must have, and I talk about this so much, is something that Rundina does beautifully as well, is really filling yourself with this sense of deep potent love, where you give yourself permission to shine your light, permission to speak up, permission to call people in, permission to sell, permission to invite people in to work with you. It's not greedy, it's not shameful, it's not about getting, it's about giving and sharing your potency and helping someone to the next dimension, right? So when you are selling high end, it's not about, yes, own that shiz, right? Own it, own it. Yeah, Rundina does a great job of this. She does her videos like the Rundina rants. Permission granted to self. I now give myself permission. I am now giving myself permission. So one of the things in the healings that I did recently, before I went to speak live recently to 500 people, you probably heard me going on about it, but I don't know if I shared this, but I shared it in my group. And one of the healings that I did a few days before was on me owning my strength and showing these people on a grand level, like live, face to face, my strength and my ability to activate. And I did a massive clearing, and I made loads of jokes and talked about my victimhood and all my effed upness and all my vulnerability and all the ways I've poisoned myself. The only reason I can talk to my audience in this way and call it as I see it, because I've been that woman. I was the woman after losing my company in New York and having my corporate kit stolen from me by a lawyer who wrote out 60% of the stock to himself, or whatever it was, 50%, without my permission. I was the one that then had the benign tumor in my uterus that almost killed me. And I was the one that kept blaming everyone. I was the one that just was caught up in so much angst from my childhood without realizing it. And I kept perpetuating this cycle of drama and struggle and sabotage and loss. So that is why I can speak and see people's patterns. And so the healing, though, that I had to do was, I was fine with owning my brilliance. I was fine with owning my genius, but I wasn't really completely okay yet with fully owning my strength. So I'm constantly working on myself. And I did that clearing, and I got up on stage and I called it as I saw it. And I spoke up, and I will never speak up about anything unless I have gone through it like myself. So I'm the one that for years after losing my company was like, it would be like with my husband in this anxiety-ridden mess going, do you think I can do it? And if I write this book and if I do this and I do that, do you think I'll be able to do it? And what happens if it doesn't work? And the point, hey, big love to you, Gabrielle, the point I was making the other day in one of my groups, speaking to some people, is you can't build from that vibration. It's like trying to build an empire in quicksand. At some point, whether you have to go and get a job, I don't care. Whatever you have to do, make sure that your $1 million empire is a done deal. That's set in stone, and get grounded in this sense of deep trust that you will do it. Whether it takes you 3 months or 6 months, or you have this rapid ignition over a really short period of time, or whether it takes you 5 years, it doesn't actually matter to some degree. You have to make a conscious choice that no matter what, that's happening. And when you make that conscious, deliberate choice and decision, and you fully trust, that grounded foundation begins to happen. And you know what? And you've got this sort of foundation, it's a new energetic vibration. If it's like, okay, God, creator, it's a done deal. This is a done deal, I'm doing it. It's like you take a deep breath, because there's this resonance of trust. A deeper level of peace comes up. And you stop thinking all these chaotic, anxious thoughts of, can I do it? And it's just like, well, what do I need to do? And to be honest with you, there aren't that many things that you need to do to get into cash flow quickly. So anyway, I'm going to share more of that with you during my training, everything that I did. I basically sold out my first business school, CEO Diva Business School, which I'm going to share exactly how I did it. I'm trying to build an empire in quicksand, not anymore, building a solid foundation. And the solid foundation starts with your energetic vibration and your belief, right? So every day, just keep chanting your mantras, doing your prayers, your invocations. We provide deep theater healing support. We have, kinesiologists that works on my team every single week doing clearings and healings so that you can have that base. But at the end of the day, it's a new pattern, isn't it? It's a pattern of behavior. And usually when you've been running in that way for so long, and I was that person for many years where I was always like, right? Often without even realizing it. It just had become my way. It was either drama after drama, this kind of real like fear-based consciousness. A lot of it, guys, comes from the social environment, the energies. If you're a soul empath, you're picking up other people's frequencies. But a lot of it, as you would know, from early childhood, right? What happened there, the trauma that's unresolved. Also potentially from marriages and things like that didn't work out. Sexual abuse even, all that kind of stuff, all the trauma. And so what tends to happen is we haven't fully processed that and allowed ourselves to heal from it. And so it's still driving the show in the background. And that's what needs to be really deeply released. And also that pain, and I talk, say, take your pain and make it rain, take your misery and make it your message, and then make it money and use it to serve others. But that pain will also become what I call your golden intellectual property. So all the pain that you've gone through is actually going to serve the greater good when you really learn to see, well, what is the core teaching, from this? So for example, if my dad used to hit me all the time, which he did, and made me feel stupid and stuff like that, and terrorized me growing up, what's the lesson? Am I going to stay with the vibration I've been terrorized? Or am I going to shift it to say, he was obviously freaking out and had his own wounds, And do I wish that it had been different? Was it acceptable? Okay, no. However, what have I learned from that? I've learned that if someone calls me stupid or terrorizes me, I know how to stand up for myself. I know how to create a clear boundary. I know how to speak up to men and really assert my power in terms of no, this is not okay. It's helped me in my marriage, and it's helped me also in my business, where I'm like, well, what if that was a lie and wasn't even true? Because my IQ is really high and I'm actually clever, as you are. And how am I going to release that wounding and now go on and share that message with others? Because so many women, I think, have been told they're not good enough, they're stupid, they don't really know. If you've been bad with money, then you say your new way of relating to yourself is you're bad with money. Well, you've got to shift that and say, I'm actually really good with money. I'm actually really good with money. I know how to bring in money. I know how to make money. I know how to hold on to money. I know how to invest my money, and I know how to turn my money into like 10 times more and 20 times more. So reframing all those belief systems and shift them. You can shift them instantly, really, if you really want to. Yes, you might need more deeper level of support and help from the healers and the mystics and the kinesiologists and things like that. But you can decide even today, choose 2 beliefs that are driving the show. Maybe one from your mother, one from your father, or one from an ex-lover, or one from your current partner. You know, you might be buying into their vibration. And write them down and then rewrite them. So write down what the negative is, or the sort of lower vibration, and then rewrite it. So for me, around I'm stupid, it would be like, I'm really clever and I'm smart and I know how to build a business. I know exactly what I'm doing. And I deeply, deeply, deeply trust myself. And then if I was you, I would also be doing an energy cord cutting. So for me, always forgiveness liberates us, right? Forgiveness of self. When you are usually forgiving someone else, at some point there is some level of forgiveness that also needs to also come from yourself towards yourself. Because usually if you've had abuse, you've then, without realizing it, typically allowed abuse in, more abuse from that because of the conditioning, because you've been programmed to think that that's acceptable. And so, you know, for example, with me, like making money, losing money, making money, losing money, I created that. Yes, it was set up in my kind of DNA, my way of processing as a young child due to certain events. Okay, fair enough. But then as a grown woman, I've been the one perpetuating it. So taking full responsibility for that and seeing, okay, so this came from childhood, this is the reason why, and then going, okay, now as a grown, I keep going to say the word ASS, a grown woman, the queen, I am now going to take full responsibility of how I've been perpetuating this cycle of abuse. Right? And I'm going to rewrite it in this very moment. I'm making a holy vow to never abandon myself or allow abuse or be abusive to myself, because usually when we then perpetuate this stuff, we're actually the one who's also abusing self because we're allowing it to go on. Can I get an amen on that? Does everyone hear what I'm saying? So unfortunately, so for me, with all my wounding, I also then, rather than dealing with it and actually learning how to process through it and actually look at the patterns clearly, I would turn a lot of it in as self-loathing and judgment. And I created this toxic environment in my body where I literally grew a tumor in my uterus and almost died. I literally pussy mass in my uterus that crushed my fallopian tubes, right? So it was all rage and grief and trauma and shock, deep shock. And instead of going, oh my God, I need to process this properly, and I don't know, I just kept perpetuating it until it literally almost killed me, right? And then undercharging, thinking I was serving people, selling these cheap sessions, thinking that that was a way for me to serve. It's not. It's not. It just keeps you broke. And really, you're not doing the work that you're really deeply called to do. I made an example in my group, and I'm going to go, but you know, look at Amma, you know, the woman that travels around the world giving hugs. She might do that for free or charge a small fee, but if you look at that, that's a business model. That woman is supported by beneficiaries, very rich beneficiaries, and she also sells a shizload of merchandise and product in order for her to have the means to travel around the world and hug thousands upon tens of thousands of people a year. It's a strategy. There's a whole system behind it that gives her the power and the ability to travel around the world and do what she needs to do. So I'm inviting you also to invite that into your own life. If you want to serve thousands of people every year, what's phase 1, what's phase 2, what's phase 3? And I will tell you, selling high end is phase 1 for sure, because it will give you that immediate cash flow. You're able to go deep with people, provide an incredible service. People will pay you. It's easier to sell a $5,000 offer than it is to sell a $100 session when you get your frequency right. And you're giving someone a sublime, divine, holy, sacred experience. Where it becomes unethical is when you promise someone something and you don't deliver on what you say. If you deliver on what you say and you're a visionary, divine, healing, mystical woman who delivers on her word and is masterful in her craft, then you deserve that times 10. So you're actually giving someone an incredible, the $5,000 investment that they're paying is probably worth more like $100,000 in terms of the transformation that you're providing. I've always come into money and then I lose it. Yeah, can't read all of that, silly, but there's a pattern there, right? So you want to reprogram that for sure. And that's great. It's wonderful awareness, because the minute you have that money and claim that, you like really realize, okay, let me look at this habit. Let me look at this behavior that's going on, which is you always lose it. So in some way there's a fear of having the money. You might feel like you don't really deserve it. There'll probably be a whole lot of different belief systems. For me, making money and losing money was to do with money bringing pain. So when I saw certain people in my lives, I won't go into it because they might see this video, manipulating with money, going to court, battling over money, money becoming a priority over how they raise their family and things like that, then the pattern for me was that money brings pain and manipulation. So if I have that belief, I'm always going to lose money, because I really don't want to go into that power struggle, and I don't want to be one of those kinds of people. One of my girlfriends on the weekend said, I think I see so many people with money being sort of manipulative. And what else do they do? They're manipulative. They're not really nice people. And I said, but what if that wasn't completely true? What if, have you ever met people who have a lot of money who are really kind and generous? Because that's just one view that you're looking at. So she will always sabotage herself from making money, because she's saying in some way, I'm scared that I'm going to be this horrible person. And I said, but isn't that such an illusion? Because the truth of who you are, hey everyone, is that you're a really generous, visionary, heart-aligned woman. Like the work that she does like deep yoga teaching and training, and she'll go on other priestess healing Bali retreats and do training there, and she's just such a beautiful, conscious soul that's not her reality. And so I said to her, and this is something a big learning for me, money makes you more of who you are. So if you're a bit of a loser and you're a greedy, power-hungry, I person, money may make you more of that unless you have some major healing epiphany. If you are a heart-centered, visionary woman, money is going to make you more that. So people have sort of said to me, oh, Ingrid, the more that you've made money, like it's sort of throwing me off because you're more generous. Hey, gorgeous Simi, beautiful, talented. Oh my God, Simi's amazing as well. So many amazing women. Amazing trainer and spiritual teacher. I think you're the founder almost of the beauty revolution. This woman's gorgeous, really sexy and very wise. So it will make you more of who you are, right? Money makes you more of who you are. So if I want to help more women, and I have this deep heart, right? I have this deep heart. I have my husband's here. I have so much I want to give. It is a fallacy to believe that if I don't allow that I have to be broke in order to somehow be worthy. And like, I'm not taking away from anyone, right? I'm not taking away because there's limitless money. The reason, I've said this a million times, but I'll say it again, I think we need to hear it. The reason why we have war and starvation and poverty isn't because of money. Money isn't innocent. It isn't because of money that we have global suffering. The reason that we have global suffering is because of those types of people, usually a lot of men, unfortunately, who are in powerful positions. And this is not an attack against men, because there are a lot of very heart-centered, amazing visionary men who are doing their best to bring healing and consciousness and all these beautiful projects to fruition in the world. There are lots of amazing male global leaders, but there's also a lot of very destructive, power hungry, I people who create massive destruction, who profit from war. War is a highly profitable business. So it's not money, it's man that creates poverty and destruction and terrorism and human trafficking. And I'm not saying man just meaning a male man with an appendage. I just mean the humans that create that, not money. So what I've learned, and I'm sure you already know, is that money with love together to bring rapid healing to the planet, which we so need right now, is one of the most healing tools on the planet. And I just really want you to keep saying, like really going, I now give myself permission to make money, because money with love and my ability to serve and speak up and heal and bring beauty to this planet is what the world needs. And it's just not for it's a collective. It's a collective initiative, right? When you're working in this way, it's not just about what I can buy the latest, get the latest set of like Milano Blahnik shoes or my next mansion. All those material things, if you want them, are yours for the taking. It's your right. If you want that, create that. That's beautiful. It's wonderful to have those material things if you really want them. I like some nice things. But from my experience, once you pay off your house, once you have a decent car, you can go shopping and drop 5K here, there, whatever, it becomes a little bit boring. It's like, you've got that. And that really, if your role on earth is to bring consciousness and healing to the planet, at the end of the day, having that cash flow and that money, it spreads your message. You can build your team. You've then got other coaches under you. You've then got the capital for your webinars and the ads and bringing more people in, right? Doesn't that make sense? It's like you can't, if you really want to serve even 100 people a year in a top like high-end sort of program like the one that I've got, I need a team, baby. I've got designers, programmers, I've got coaches, I'm training up more coaches, I've got a sales team of 5 women, I've got, what else do I have? Copywriters. I'm too busy to, I write good copy, I sometimes still write my own copy, but I've got a whole team, and it requires capital. So say, people always talk about profits. What profits are you making? It's not really just the income, but say I am making whatever, say it's 120 grand a month, and I'm spending like 40 or 50 in order to bring that into fruition. I don't want to work all the time. And I want to spread my money too. I don't need to keep it. It's always coming. I always have the ability to make more money. But in order to ensure that I'm not sitting at my desk every single day, I need a team. And that team requires investment and capital. Okay, so that we can go out and help, so many. And now I'm going to be doing a beautiful healing $97 program, but I'm only creating that membership platform that I'm going to be launching in August or September, depending on when I get around to it. We're building the site now, but that's only coming into play now. And I'm sort of 3 or 4 years into this, right? You could build that quite quickly, but you've got to have your high ticket. You've got to have cash flow. You've got to have volume. You only need to sell, say, 20 units to make 100 grand, 10 units if it's a 10K offer, 10 units a month at a 15K offer to do 150K. Selling a $97 program, a $997 program, unless you've got a massive database or you've literally got 30, 40 grand to pump into ads, I'm sorry, the return is going to be small. A month. By the way, 20, 30 grand a month. You really need to have the cash flow in order to have a cheaper program that actually makes you money. Okay, guys, I'm going to rock it. I'm going to go. I'm actually doing a call with somebody today, and I'm sending you guys so much love. I hope to see you in a few days at 7 Figure Diva, and if not, I'll see you around. Kisses. Bye, guys. Mwah.